name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder of Warner, serving and Messiah that's in our midst. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Presents. Let Us Make Man, a podcast of brothers that desires nothing more than to present positive image of what a man of God should be, for we all are family men who love our children. We all are businessmen. We all are youth mentors, and we all work hard in our communities to make it a decent and safe place to live. When putting this podcast together, we decided to govern our actions by three rules. One was to put God first in all that we do. Two was to present content to podcasts that can make you a better you. And three, to show brotherhood and unity. Unity and brotherhood amongst men that you can be proud of. My name is Brother Kawi Muhammad. I'll be your host and moderator for the night. I'm very interested in the beginning of things, the root of things, motivations and inspirations. So I hope and pray that you enjoy those lines of questioning. Let me get to the other host of the Jock Brothers. Of course, you see we are absent of our beloved brother Jackie Muhammad. It was just we got an early taping today, and he just couldn't make the time to make this taping. But we salute you, brother Jackie. I guess we'll see you on the next episode. Let's get on to our other brother Ahmed Bia. This brother is just a world traveler. He is the current producer of the show. Brother brings expertise and energy, great energy and know-how to any organization, to any meeting. If you are a mover and shaker and you want something done, call my brother Ahmed. That's what he do. My brother Ahmed B.
Thank you. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us tonight. We have a special show for you tonight, policing our community, or what we would say, policing the community of God, God's people. So, my name is Brother Ahmed, and the show tonight is based on policing the community. You can view us live on Facebook, you can view us live on YouTube, and you can view us on Instagram at Jock Brothers. So on Facebook and YouTube, you can look up Jock Brothers and find us there. We also have a prison initiative that you can get involved with. We are striving to push the boldest Black-owned newspaper, The Final Call, and get it to our brothers and sisters that are incarcerated. So you can help us with this initiative by sending information of any family members or friends or those who you may know to Jock Brothers Viewers at gmail.com. Jock Brothers Viewers at gmail.com. Please send any information of those incarcerated to that Gmail. You can also send finances to Jock Bros, Cash App, Jock Bros. Send any financial assistance. You see it scrolling at the bottom of the screen. The Cash App, Jock Bros. So send any financial assistance there. So any information to Jock Brothers Viewers and any financial help and assistance to Jock Bros, Cash App. With that information, I'll give it right back to you, Brother Kawi. Let's continue with the show.
Praise be to Allah. Let's get on to the show, which is entitled Policing Our Community. Very honored to have this esteemed brother, soldier, on our show today. He was a great example for me when I first got into the Nation of Islam. Every time this brother made a move, he locked and cocked. And I was like, what is going on with this brother? So let's get on to the introduction to this brother. This brother received his ex in 1994 at Mars number 93 in Macon, Georgia. At the same time, he got into his career, which is now law enforcement. with the Department of Corrections. He joined the technical squad where he was trained by a retired Navy SEAL vet by the name of Howard Weston. Did I pronounce that right, brother?
Wasden.
Yeah, Howard Wasden. After 7 years of service on the technical squad, he transferred, and as LeBron said, I'm gonna send my talents to South Beach. He sent his talents to the Fulton County Sheriff's Department, where he served there many years. After the Brian Nichols debacle, I don't know if many people remember that Brian Nichols situation where he, I guess, attacked a female prisoner and shot the judge and shot. After that debacle right there, they created a SWAT team for the inside the prison to control that, to stop that from ever happening again. This brother right here is the founding member of that team, the founding member of the first ever in-house SWAT team at Fulton County Sheriff Department.
That's right.
He later took his expertise and became a captain over the background investigations at Morris Brown College. And he also became a sergeant at Atlanta Metropolitan College. We're talking about a brother that has over 20 years experience in law enforcement. Who better to tackle a subject like this than our brother Linford Haslam. Brother Linford?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Linford Muhammad and the righteous community that we're talking about in the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the opening words?
I just want to say hello, and I want to thank you, brothers, first and foremost. Well, I thank Allah first and foremost, but I thank you, brothers, for even thinking of me for this particular event, policing our community. Again, you read my bio. I'm ready to tackle the subject there, brothers.
Like I said, the only thing I didn't see was that you was a Marine. That's the only thing I didn't see. Other than that, you qualified, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, let's just get the ball rolling. Let's go for it. So just for the sake of just getting the blood flowing, what is an example of community policing?
Community policing is not what people think. Getting out, writing tickets, stopping people, and pretty much what we've seen from past, and also harassing. That's not what we do when we say community policing. Believe it or not, community policing is actively patrolling your neighborhoods, being seen as a deterrent for crime. The proverbial thing with politicians is shaking hands and kissing babies.
Right.
Well, community policing is pretty much the same thing. You have to get out. You have to be visible. You have to speak to the people in the community that you're what we call either securing or you're patrolling, or you have to be pretty much almost like a politician. You gotta smile. You gotta speak to the children if need be. Get out and talk to the youngsters. That's what we do. That's community policing.
So you're just building relationships, basically.
Building relationships, brother.
Okay. So how does that help the community? How does that help?
Well, first of all, it makes the community feel confident that first and foremost that they can approach us, right, and talk to us and let us know of any concerns that they have in the community. They feel like that I should know. One thing when I work for the Department of Corrections is, when you're doing your job and we call them, of course, they're inmates, but when you're helpful to them, they are helpful to you. It's the same way in the community. Right. If I get out and I show again that I'm approachable and that you can come to me with concerns, and I make sure that if I can't handle it, then I give it to my supervisor and those above who can.
Okay. Yes, sir. Now,
but look, if I'm breaking up or not.
You breaking up, brother? Man, brother, you got a question. If you can't get through, man, just text it to me.
Yes, sir.
I can hear you, brother Ahmed. I see you.
All right. You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but Linford, I wanted to know, was your tenure in law enforcement, and why did you get into that field?
You want the long story? You want me to condense it?
Yeah,
I, I
condense it. Make a long story short. Make a short story
I
long.
basically I got into law enforcement on a dare with a couple of my friends. I was working actually at a textile plant in 1994, and me and one of my homeboys, and then one of his friends, all three of us was like, we heard about the law enforcement um the job fair that they were having. And my homeboy was like, "Hey man, let's go into corrections. It pays more at the time. It was paying more than I was getting at the textile plant. So I did it on a dare. And it just so happens that once we got into it, all of us are in our 20s. All of us, we were fit. You know, we all like to shoot balls, so we were fit. And then we made the Department of Corrections. We got into there in 1994, and then they came along with the tactical squad in 1996. And since all of us, we already had 2 years into it, considered seasoned officers, and we just wanted to go a little further. We got on the tactical team. But yeah, I got into it on a dare, brother, and I found my niche.
Now I know you had a. I'm sorry.
Ahead,
I know you had a brush with Islam in the past, but how did when you learned about the knowledge and the history of your people, how did it change the way you looked at them from the time that you came into law enforcement and the time that you learned about the history and the greatness of your people?
Brother Ahmed, I got to tell you, brother, that's a beautiful question because before I turned to Islam, the Nation of Islam to be exact, I was just like any other. I'm gonna say this: I was drinking, smoking, partying, clubbing. I was doing the whole nine. And once I accepted the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I started in corrections, now my mindset was I didn't look at my brother like a nigga or you know, with that type of animosity. I started slowly incorporating the messenger's teaching to the inmates at the prison. So what I did was I worked from 10 at night till 6 in the morning. So when we do lockdown, before we conducted the lockdown, I would have all of the inmates coming to the center of the housing unit, whether they wanted to or not.
Right.
You gonna come to, and we gonna sit down and we gonna power, we gonna talk. And let me tell you something. I had an inmate tell me, brother, he had done 20 years in the Department of Corrections for whatever crime he committed. That brother said, he said, man, don't you know if I would have had somebody like you to slow me down and to talk to me like you're talking to us now, he said, brother, I would have never been in prison. I would have never been in prison. So what I did was, like I said, I would have pretty much like a community in that housing unit, and we would have a community based talk every night. I worked 6 nights and was off 2. My 6 nights was wanting to know how and why these people ended up in prison, and by showing them that I care, brother, you talk about the level of respect. And when they found out that I was in the Nation, oh my God. It was a beautiful thing.
The ignorant of us, Brother Linford, the ignorant of us now would think that, I mean, Ahmed had a conversation about this like yesterday, that it would be a conflict of interest, you know, because one of the things that kept, you know, that keep the prisons full are the police officers. You know, okay, go ahead.
That's not true. That's not true. We don't keep the prisons full when they commit those crimes and are committed to the Department of Correction. That's what keeps the prisons full. we
system.
as correctional officers or police officers, we don't have control over the people in the public and just the layman brothers who commit crimes. We don't have control over that. All we do is in the Department of Corrections, we make sure that they don't escape outside that prison. Out here in law, as a police officer, I can't stop them from doing crimes, but if it's done in front of me, or if I get a call from dispatch and such, then I have to do my job and incarcerate them, or better yet, detain them and take them to jail for incarceration.
Right.
So it's not like we're doing anything to keep the prisons or keep these people out here committing crimes. I have no control over that. Police officers and correctional officers, we have no control over that.
Now the way you proposed that question, Kawhi, like we was talking about it, like you said, like we was totally in agreement that.
Oh no, I didn't say. I didn't say that because Ahmed never. No, I'm going totally by questions I received prior.
Okay, yes, sir. I don't have a problem with that.
Right, that's all. And I was just making that. Go ahead, Ahmed.
No, I was just saying that I've known many of members of the Nation of Islam even prior to 75 who were police officers, detectives. I mean, it goes deep, but just the value of having police officers on the team and in the ranks is a plus on both sides.
Oh yes,
but
sir.
The responsibility that you have is great because I know the police are is brother Ilyas Rashad was not Ilyas Rashad, excuse me, brother Dimitri was speaking about the police officers going to Israel, getting trained and coming back with this tactical military training, and that when they bring it to the streets, the brothers and sisters in the streets are not getting trained on how to deal with police. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was saying that the duty is on a lot of the black police officers to now work both sides in training our community and training the police officers as well. So are you in any workshops? Are you in any give any courses to the police officers or your peers?
In reference to
how they should handle the black and brown in the community?
No, sir.
Training.
That sensitivity training is required. It is mandated because of all of the I'll say the clashes between police officers, and not only in the black community, the brown community, just in those two, because they're the only two that are always publicized on TV, on national TV, as having the issues. So the sensitivity training, it is mandatory from your departments. So I don't have to train them or tell them. It is a course that's automatically given once they come on to that agency. The sensitivity training, it's national. It is throughout the whole United States.
Right. That the police officers have taken on more of a military posture versus police officers coming in to serve, de-escalate, negotiate. It's that most of the time it seems like they come in boots on the ground, just coming in with force. Have you experienced that?
Well, we have to with our training, we have to respond a level above the situation that's happening. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So if there is rioting, then of course they're going to come out in the riot gear and all of those type of things. And it might be the perception might be of a militarized unit, but that's a part of the training also. We have to respond one level above the situation that's happening, because we are the ones who are expected to to regain control and also, you know, I guess quell or squash the situation that's happening. So I mean, the perception might be when you come in with the riot helmets and the shields and all that kind of stuff as if it's a militarized unit, but it's not.
You know,
you wouldn't go in, and I'm just being facetious, but you wouldn't go in and flip flops and shades in a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to be we have to be prepared for the situation. We can't come in underprepared because then you know we would lose control.
So I you know, let's I mean, I got you on the earlier community policing answers, and look, I know you, and so I hope that you don't take it like I'm just directing this to you, because this really ain't about you. I want to, you know, but I'm gonna say the atmosphere, or that when you when the police come around, especially you know, in the Black community, it's not really a welcome one.
Right.
Very seldom I see police officers coming up talking about how your day been. I'm here to protect and serve. It's always the, you know, the sidebar comments, the looking at you crazy kind of stuff, you know. And so,
well,
go ahead.
The lack of trust from the community has been lost by the bad apples. And listen, brother, let's just be honest. Let's just be, you know, it is what it is. It's not even it's not the bad apples, it's the racist white police officers. Let's just keep it 100.
Hold on. Can you say this, brother?
What? We're talking truth. Man, I'm a Muslim. I follow the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I have no fear. We're talking about the lack of trust was lost because of those individuals with preconceived notions. When they come to Black people's community or the Black community, they already have the racist preconceived ideas. So it's like they're coming with those ideas. So let's just say this. Let's say this. When white police officers, when they come out of the academy, that with those preconceived notions, they get their first foot chase, they get their first use of force case, they get their first dope chase, they get their first physical altercations, all in the Black community. And that's fact.
That's fact. Okay.
I can't speak on, conjecture, whatever. I can only speak on fact. And this is what I know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how do we yes, sir. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Ahmed. I'm good.
I was listening to a female police officer, and she was saying that when she speaks to the elders in the community, she wears her uniform because they look at it different and they respect it differently. But when she speaks to the youth, she doesn't wear her uniform. You know, she may just wear a collared shirt with a police emblem on it, but she doesn't come in full uniform because different generations are now, like Brother Kawi was saying a minute ago, feel a certain kind of way when they deal with police officers or those in law enforcement. So when you come and you deal with our community, are you getting that with different ages as well, the different generations dealing with you differently?
My presence alone, brothers, and you know I'm 6'2". You brothers know how big I am in stature. My presence alone commands respect because I'm not gonna go to them in a disrespectful kind of manner because I'm Black. I know how to deal with Black young men and women. I have 3 boys, you know, so it's not like I'm coming from I share the experience because some of the things that they've experienced and coming up as you know, the children, I've had those same experiences in run-ins with the law. but mine wasn't to the point to where someone was getting incarcerated, the officers talked to me bad or whatever. But you know, I've been pulled over. I've done the same thing. So the older people, yes, they respect the law because they just know that when they have a problem that they're gonna have to call the law eventually. The young people, on the other hand, the only experience that I've had is they want to know why is it that, you know, situations happen and certain officers get off when it's been, you know, shown that, you know, right there on camera, that kind of stuff. And I have to explain it to them, you know. But me myself, no, I don't have issues when I go and speak to the youth. And I prefer to speak to the youth in the uniform because they rarely see black officers talking to them on a level that they can understand, and also talking to them, not me. I can't come at them like, oh, y'all bad, like they doing the perception of all police officers. They don't say black police officers or white police officers. They say all police officers. So,
right.
Do you encourage them to join law enforcement?
I don't encourage them to join law enforcement. I encourage them to do whatever their heart desires and what they feel like they want to do as a career. Now, if they ask about law enforcement, of course I tell them the perks. I always tell people the perks first anyway. Plenty of perks. And then I come back with the realization of, at some point, what if you have to use your weapon? But then again, that comes from the training. So no, I don't tell them, I don't try to recruit. No, I don't do that. But if they ask, then I'll tell them.
A few years ago.
Do you think that might be a? Do you think that might be a reform when we're dealing with the system, that more, if we had more woke officers, and I'm not just going to say black, but more black and brown officers that are informed and woke, do you think that might help with the system that's just based on white supremacy and racism?
Well, of course, not only just being woke, but in their upbringing, if they had a positive upbringing and a positive interaction with police. See, all of that within the last 30 years have gone out the window, you know, and it's more or less, and that's only because of the bad apples and how they've done some things. And actually the criminal injustice system lets them get away with it. Let's cut through all of that and let's just be real about it. I mean, with me and my body camera, I have it right here, but it's not on. But anything that you put in front of that camera, the camera is going to record it. The camera is not going to be biased. The camera, if you put something in front of it, I mean, anything you put in front of it, and you go back and record it, it's going to give you playback of what you put in front of it. So all of these things that have been happening on camera, a sensible, rational person, you don't even have to know all of the bounds of the law, but you know right from wrong. And you see these innocent black men, women, children getting murdered with nothing in their hands.
Right.
Come on, bro. How do you, what message are you sending to the youth? Police can get away with murder. White officers are the one that are committing all the murder. They do what they do, and nothing happens to them. That's the message that you're sending to the community.
Like I said, a long time ago, I was invited to the Moorish Science Temple, Temple 19, that's on Cleveland Avenue, to attend a community meeting with the police officers. Mm-hmm. So the police, you know, was, I guess, on the stand. You know, the community had a chance to question them for the purpose of just, you know, understanding each other.
Right.
some of the consistent rhetoric, or not, I ain't gonna say rhetoric. Some of the comments that I consistently heard was, "I just want to go home." From this coming from the police officer, "I just want to go home. I just want to go home." And they had white police officers there. They had black police officers there, but everybody in that at that meeting that had the complaints was black people. In the black police officers, it was like, I ain't black no more. It's like how they were answering the questions. It's like I'm blue now. I'm blue.
Right.
And so I hear you. I see you. I know you wasn't
I'm a product of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching.
Say again?
I said, but I'm a product of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching.
Right.
And I know right from wrong. But go ahead.
Well, I know you wasn't there, but I know you probably had them type of conversations before. What would you say to that statement? I just want to go home, because one of the replies was, "Well, I just want to go home too." So
let me go back to the first part of your question. You even mentioned the fact that there was a community meeting. And I applaud the Moore Science Temple brother for even putting that together, because normally when the white shirts, and I mean the upper brass, when they come together and they have community meetings, they come to community meetings to hear the issues in our communities, not just black folk community, but in other communities also, whether they're, Indian or mixed or white or whatever. They always have community-based meetings because they want to know how and what the public feel about their officers. Now, in black folk community, and I don't know how many were in that attendance, but I know that in the meetings, the town hall meetings, and some of the town hall meetings that APD have, there are only a few black people. And they're saying their idea or their mindset is, man, I got to work. Oh, man, I'm getting off work, man. I got to go home. I got to cook for the children. I got to do this. And it's all kind of excuses. And they don't go to the community meetings. So let me tell you this. What that says to the upper brass is that my officers are out there doing their job. There are no complaints. Okay, we can end this meeting. You'll listen to about 5 or 6 of them, and that's fine. But 5 or 6 doesn't represent the totality of the population of those communities. Now, say you have those same community meetings in Buckhead. Let me tell you something. Those people are going to come to those meetings because they are going to file complaints on the officers. They're going to make their whatever problems that they have going on, they're going to make it known in Buckhead. So why can't we do that? We can. You're making the excuses. Man, I got to work. Oh, man, I got to cook. Oh, I got to get these kids. But guess what the white people do? They bring those children to those meetings with them. They're not going to miss those meetings because they're going to make their complaints known. Why can't we do that? We can. Stop making excuses. Yeah, come out and let these people know. When they have officers, and say if I was an officer in Buckhead, and I'm up here writing tickets for the stop signs or running red lights, and I'm getting about 30 tickets a day. Don't you know that one of those people are going to file a complaint against me, and I'll be gone from that Buckhead precinct probably in a week? We don't do that in our black people community. You know who the officers are who are harassing you. You know who they are. But you don't want to go and file a complaint. So guess what? That precinct commander, that sergeant, that patrol sergeant, or that lieutenant, if you don't go and file a complaint, then guess what they're going to say? My officers are doing their jobs. When it's the total opposite.
To me, it sounds like centuries of abuse, not continuously seeing the system not work.
No. That's not true. Because I know for a fact what our motto is: if it ain't on paper, it didn't happen. So if you don't go and file a complaint, guess what they're going to say? Again, my officers are doing their job. Once we get out of that negative thinking about and the police as a whole, and then start voicing your opinions, I guarantee you'll see a change. It's the same thing what I said about the Buckhead community. They're gonna make their voices heard, known. They'll file a complaint on me and I'll be gone in a week. So you don't think that they're up here running stop signs and running red lights and driving with no insurance and all that kind of stuff? Yes, they are. But let me write 30 tickets a day and see what's gonna happen. They're gonna file a complaint. So you can do the same thing in the black folk community. This officer is constantly harassing you and about this and that, or pulling you over. And if you don't know your rights under the law, then you take it. But no, all you have to do is just go and file a complaint. I guarantee you'll get them. Let them get about 2 or 3 complaints in a day, or within a week. Yeah. Then the upper brass will start looking and say, hey, they'll put an officer in the office and say, hey man, let me talk to you. Hey, you might need to hold up a little bit on these frivolous tickets. So you don't think they know it's frivolous? Of course. Hey man, I'm gonna need you to slow up on these tickets as your supervisor, man. Hey, I'm gonna need you to chill out a little bit.
It's our relationship with police as a whole. I know when I was doing some work with a lot of white people moving in, like in regentrified areas, and they immediately set up a email network, and then they immediately come together and go to the police and ask for a 20-minute revolving officer to patrol their neighborhood. Right off the bat, they take control of their relationship with the police. So our relationship with the police has been so damaged. Is just, yeah, I hear what you're saying, because
but brother, man, we could do the exact same thing.
Right.
All you have to do is just follow their lead.
Right.
Follow their lead, and you will get the exact same response. I promise you.
Right.
Because guess what that's going to do on my end as a police officer? It's going to make my job a whole lot easier. If you all come together and if you make your concerns known, or even do that and you want the police to come through every 20 minutes, that would make my job a whole lot easier, because the more you see me, the less you're going to be inclined to commit a crime.
Now also with that, do you think that some communities are over policed?
Of course. You know, it's sad that they're labeled as either drug communities or troubled communities. No, I take that back. They're not going to say drugs. They're going to say troubled communities. And then that's the key word for, I'm going to need more officers over here, because this is where we're having the most problems. But this is the thing though, bro. We shouldn't be looking for the police to curtail the problems in the communities. We as parents need to step up and check the children. It's not that that the police are coming in and every time you turn around they're in our community. I mean, because of shootings and break-ins and just fights and stuff. It's because that's what they're doing. And someone calls the police. So we as parents, or better yet, we have to get back to when the community was the tribe as a whole. It was the hub. They took care of each other. We have to get back to that, because if you don't, then you lose these children. And then when you have to call the police, or better yet, when we're called to handle a situation, then the first thing everybody's looking at is like, we're the bad guys. If the crime was committed, then you shouldn't have to. We wouldn't be called. I'll be somewhere eating donuts and drinking coffee.
Yes.
Even though I don't know about the donuts.
If we're not relating to what you said a few minutes ago about the community not dealing with the police as far as like they did in Buckhead and removing them when they do something wrong. So the upper management is thinking that, hey, my officers must be okay since we're not getting any complaints. What kind of pressure do they receive when there's incidents like the George Floyd and deaths in the community? Do they look at it as, hey, this is just isolated, and they've been doing okay for so long. Now we just have a couple of isolated incidents?
We had the same question, man. Yeah, I want to hear. Yeah.
Now that was a hard one because sometimes, if you go, because then they do deal with statistics in the zones and the crime statistics, and then if that particular incident that happened and it's not a one of the interests of the police for a high crime rate, then you would look at that as an isolated incident. You can't group all of it together. You can't, because again, you have, then you'll be grouping all the police as bad, because that would happen to George Floyd. Oh, of course, that was if they've already dissected this man in his background and his police file and all of the things he'd gotten into. Man, he should have been fired a long time ago. He should have been fired a long time ago. He should have been put up on charges a long time ago. But at the same time, when you're now with the environment and the way that the people are perceived police officers, now it's hard to get officers. So now if you take that body away, now you're gonna have to find somebody to replace him, the area that he was in, da 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 da. So you're dealing with what the stupid stuff that he do. But when they let that slide, his actions slide, and all of those other complaints and all those other incidents and uses of force that he gotten into, it only escalated, and it escalated to this man losing his life.
Let me ask you a question. Now, so let's just take that George Floyd, the community, the way they was outraged, the way it affected the country. And we talking about police in our community now, when it's that damage, right? What will you suggest that can be done to rebuild your relationship after an incident like that?
All right.
Because at the end of the day, let's be real about it.
Again, we're looking at
calling the police. I mean, if I can handle it, yeah.
You're looking at what you put in front of the camera. The camera is not biased. So what the technique that man used, they never, in no academy in the United States, ever taught knee to the neck. So with that technique, he was in violation of not only the policy of that department, he was in violation of that man's constitutional rights, civil rights, everything, which ultimately led to that man dying. So the only thing that you could do was prosecute that police officer. That's the thing. He's been proven that he's a bad apple. Now it's culminated to him actually killing somebody. And that was not a police procedure in which he used. So what do? You do what's right. What's right is to prosecute this man for murder, because that's what it was. It was murder. So in order to get and the only way you're going to gain the respect back of the community is we, as in law enforcement, we have to do what's right also. You have to do what's right, because once you lose respect with the community, then guess what's going to happen? The crime rate and everything is going to increase. They don't care. So then when the police come in, they don't care nothing about the police.
Okay.
So you're saying after something like that, that's how you get back in good with the community? You got to just indict.
It's not even getting back good with the community. It's doing what's right. That was murder. There was no other way that you can look at that incident. That was murder. He killed that man. I don't know. I don't know which other way to say it.
Hmm. Now, well, in situations dealing with police brutality and harassment, what does it take on your part when dealing with your peers and standing up to them or standing up to situations that you might see or might be privy to be around? What does it take on your part or the community in standing up against that?
You know, again, that's a tough one. I can't, me personally, I can't make another person see from my perspective what's right. Even though now, if you talk about and law enforcement officers, now they've had the same training that I've had. So in going out there and going above and beyond the training, that's where they get into trouble. Now, me, I've worked too hard for this. You know, I've gotten my certificates and I've gotten my in my 20 years, my tenure, the things that I've, accomplished. I'm not gonna let anybody, put that in jeopardy. So if you do something in front of me that you know that you were already out of line for, they already know that they can't count on Haslam to be, to coerce a statement with them. No, no. Because the first thing that'll do once you get caught up in the lie, you're gonna end up at 185 Spring Street on a federal level. Bruh, that's not even worth it. You just do the job. The job is not hard. The job is not hard. You have to do the job. But brothers, I'm getting calls right now. I have to go. I have a 6 o'clock.
I know.
I gotta go to a meeting.
Let me get some final words from you. Hey, let me get some final words from you, brother.
And what we gonna do? What we gonna do about this new gun law? Everybody gonna be carrying pistols and guns now.
They're already carrying
and close out with that.
Well, let me tell you about that gun law real quick. And you don't read and us as black people, we don't read, period. And they're all going by word of mouth of the fact that you can open carry anywhere. You cannot open carry anywhere. There's still places that you cannot open carry. And with them saying that felons can now carry, you can put it on if you want to, but if it comes to a situation, to whereas I can question you as the validity of whether you're able to carry or not, and you can't produce those documents, then you're going back to jail as a convicted felon with a weapon. See, again, the fine print is what they know they're going to catch black people up on, or better yet, people who don't read and going by word of mouth. So that's one thing when I see these little youngsters out here and everybody got a gun on. It's saddening for one and disheartening for us as a people to whereas, for the mindset is, well, I need it out here for the next nigga. Come on, bro. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. And my last and final thoughts of what I would like to see is, for my profession to be respected in the black community again. And that's going to come with time because their wounds have to be healed. And it's going to take a listening ear. It's going to take someone who has the sincerity, who really wants to mend the black community because we need it the most. We need it the most. And it's going to take someone who is in their heart. I want to make what's wrong right. And whatever I got to go through to do that, then that's what I'll do. He's got to have the testicular fortitude to stand up against the powers to be. And when they know they're wrong.
Right.
Beautiful.
So yes, sir, brother. Inshallah, man, I got to get to this meeting. So inshallah, I pray that, what I said was helpful to some. And I know there are going to be some who still going to, with the thumbs in the ear and the tongues out. That's fine. That's fine.
Would you be down for a part 2 in about a couple of months?
Absolutely. I'm there for you, brothers, whatever you need. Whatever you need.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So inshallah.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brothers. And again, if y'all need me, man, y'all can call me. Y'all got my number.
Thank you, so I appreciate it.
Yes, sir, beloved.
Hopefully we wasn't disrespectful to you, was we? Just
No, man. These are questions that, if you have, it's not disrespectful. It's just the way that you present it, and the way that
Yes, sir.
anybody can ask any kind of questions. And it's just the way that you present it.
yes, sir.
All right, be safe. Be safe out there, brother.
I will do, brother Ahmed. And thank you, brother Kwawi. Inshallah,
Yes,
we'll
sir.
talk again.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Assalamu
sir.
alaikum,
All right,
sir.
assalamu alaikum.
Wait, Islam.
You want to give a commercial, Ahmed? You want to go
Praise
find
be to
water?
Allah. Yes, yes. Oh, we definitely have to promote the most. We have to get away from telling our children the devil's bedtime stories. That's part of our lessons taught to us by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And Brother Ahmed has a book out, Bilal and the Bullies, teaching our young brothers and our young sisters how to deal with bullying. It's a very spiritual and informative book. I pray that everyone gets a chance to purchase it, read it to their children, or give it to their children to read. You can purchase it at Amazon.com, or you can go to www.brpublishing.com, www.brpublishing.com, and you can purchase the book and so show support at $BR Enterprise. $BR Enterprise. We also like to present our brother Kawi. On the flyers, Brian Pippins. He's a new property real estate mentor, a real estate salesman, and he's out in the community helping people find homes. So if you happen to are looking into your first investment or second investment in purchasing a home or even selling a home, please give him a call or send us any information. Is your number?
Well, you can reach me 404-671.
There it is.
5681.
404-671-5681. 404-671-5681. And last but not least, our brother Jackie's not here right now, but he's Supreme Waste Management, Supreme Waste Removal. You can send any information also to Jock Brothers Viewers at Gmail if you have junk removal, or you're renovating the home, or just cleaning out your home, doing summer cleaning, fall cleaning, spring cleaning. He can bring a dumpster. He can pick up the dumpster. He can drop the dumpster off and help you with this cleaning or this removal of garbage and debris. Supreme Waste Removal. We're also dealing with our final call, getting the final calls into the prison system so we can get the knowledge and information to our brothers and sisters that are incarcerated. Please give us any information of any brothers and sisters that you may know or in contact with at jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com, jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com. Send any finances in this cause to $Jock Bros, $Jock Bros. Jock Brothers can also be viewed at 7 o'clock. We will air at 7 o'clock as well today. YouTube, you can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on Facebook Live at Jock Brothers. You can find us there. And we also stream on our website at www.jockbrothers.com. Thank you. Back to you, brother.
Got a question for you, brother Ahmed. And you are autographing some of those books?
Not right now. I have book signings coming up in the future. But when you purchase these books right now, you'd have to bring it to the book signing. So I have some coming up, and we'll show those in the commercial breaks in the upcoming shows.
Yes, sir. So final words, Ahmed, Brother Ahmed.
Dealing with police in our community is a very emotional situation. It's a very psychological situation. It's something that has to be taught and trained on. We have to have workshops. We have to teach generations, because the generations before us have really had little or no respect for their civil rights and their human rights. But today we are experiencing a new way of dealing with the police. They still operate on a racist built system, but we're learning the system. We're learning the laws. We have lawyers, we have police officers in different positions, mayors, governors, so we're learning how to deal with the system. And I pray that we can break this generational gap of how we deal with law enforcement.
That's
and
right.
We remove all the fear and stand up and be strong and unite, because our unity at the end of the day is our success. Our unity is our success. So my prayer is that we start to come together and organize so we can realize the power that we have in our own communities.
All right. And my final words is, first of all, I'd like to thank Brother Linford Muhammad for being our guest on the show tonight. Shot him some tough questions, but I know that he's the type of guy that knows the law enforcement industry inside out, and he's a brother that can handle the tough questions. I appreciate his manner and candor in answering the questions and being so real with us, so straight up. And I can't expect him to have the answers to all of the problems out there, but he did give us he at least pointed the finger in the direction that we should go to try to build a better relationship, not only with the police but amongst ourselves, because really the policing of the community starts with us. It don't start with the police department. It don't start with some type of military type unit. It really starts with us. And so if we became a better person to our neighbor, and I ain't talking about the neighbor say in another county. I'm talking about right next door to us, right across the street from us. The children that walk up and down the streets and build relationships right there. Man, we within just that relationship building process can have a much better community just right there. So I thank Brother Linford. We had another officer that was scheduled to come on the show, but I guess due to other circumstances he wasn't able to make it. But however, I think we got the point across. And so with that being said, we're going to close the show right there. And I want you to know our next show will be next week. It'll be the title Blended Families. Blended families. We have a lot of families that's blended, where a male coming into a relationship with children, the female coming into a relationship with children, and we got to try to coexist, relationships with stepchildren, relationships with exes. It's an important subject that we got to cover, and so I hope you tune in next week for that. And Jock Brothers out. Thank you.